Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. It's free and you have nothing to lose. So hit the subscribe button. Also hit that likes button. Get those likes up for me, guys, please. And also comment on the videos. I love to hear the comments. So please comment. And let's get those chats going. I love to chat with my subscribers. So chat on my videos, comment on those videos so that we can get those chats going back and forth. And please hit the subscribe button, even if you're passing through. So today's video, I wanted to bring attention to this video because I hadn't heard about it. It's about a young woman. It's sort of like the case that we've been talking about, Micah Miller. This is a lady, her name is Rosie McCollum, and this is about her husband, Bobby McCollum. She had been posting on her Facebook page about her abuse that was going on. She had been reaching out to a bunch of people about, different people and telling them, and I guess calling the police and so forth, and nothing was being done. Reaching out, telling them about the abuse that was going on with her husband, and no one would listen. And so she had gone back and forth to the hospital apparently, and no one would listen to her. This man would injure her and would just put her in the hospital extensively for bad beatings. And they met, and she just thought he was just the most adorable husband, and turns out he was just a monster. Anyway, he ended up unaliving her and her 3 children. I will get into the story here in just a minute, but he was a true monster, and apparently he had children and then she had children. But this was another case similar to Micah Miller, but he actually did it and got caught. Unlike Micah Miller, hers was a self-inflicted unaliving, and that's what it was made to look out like. But this guy actually got caught doing it. So we're going to get into the video. I'm going to share this video with you all about this case, this sad tragedy. And this guy ended up taking both her life as well as the children. Her name is Rosie McCollum, and this monster is Bobby McCollum. So I'm just going to share a little bit of the story, and then we'll get into some details about this case.
After being released from the hospital, she said, "He was able to stop my chest and abdomen, so the bruising and swelling is really bad there. Her pain was so severe, she wrote that she received morphine through my IV." St. John says she encouraged her friend to take her kids and go stay somewhere safe.
I said, I need you to leave the house. I don't care where you go. I need you to get out of there.
Friends worried the next time would be even worse after Bobby McCullough posted this threat on Rosie's Facebook page. It said, "Everyone, enjoy the show. More to come."
Police say 34-year-old Roseanne McCauley, her 13-year-old son Caden Johnson, and daughter 6-year-old Kaylee Brooks were shot and killed, and they were held against their will prior to that.
Very sad day for that to happen this close to home. Excuse me for crying. They didn't deserve that. I never get over this one here.
Oftentimes, it's family members and friends who see these incidents before they reach our office. And we need people to point their family members or their friends to the types of resources to get them help. Or if it's already crossed that line of violence, sometimes you got to do the uncomfortable thing, which is report it to law enforcement, because, maybe it might strain that relationship, but it might save someone's life too.
This is the story of Roseanne McCulley, a 34-year-old mother of 3 who was in an abusive marriage and posted about her abuse multiple times on her social media. After her relationship with her husband ended, her husband would break into her home one night and commit a horrifying crime. This tragic ending to this domestic violence relationship will have many looking at the missed opportunities that could have saved Rosie's life. Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis is a major city in Missouri along the Mississippi River. Its iconic Gateway Arch, a towering stainless steel monument standing at 630 feet, is one of the most recognizable symbols of the city and a must-see attraction for visitors. St. Louis is also home to several world-class museums, including the St. Louis Art Museum and the Missouri History Museum. Sports fans can catch a game at Busch Stadium, the home of the St. Louis Cardinals, or the Enterprise Center, where the St. Louis Blues play ice hockey. The city is also renowned for its delicious cuisine, with unique dishes such as toasted ravioli and St. Louis-style pizza. 34-year-old Roseanne McCulley, also known by friends and family as Rosie, was a mother of 3 children aged 13, 6, and 1. She was a talented artist and loved to draw and paint in her free time. She also had a passion for creating custom designs, which is why she started her own custom design business called Glitter on the 8th. She would make many beautiful creations by hand, such as custom cups and shoes, as well as custom desserts and cakes for kids' birthdays and parties. She was also a customer service claims lead at Centene Corporation. Rosie was described as a sweet person.
Hey y'all. All right, my name is Roseanne, but y'all know me as Rosie Q.
She was a funny, sarcastic, and wonderful individual and was loved by many. Rosie was in a relationship with 35-year-old Bobby McCulley. The two had been together for years. Court records show that there was a history of domestic violence throughout the relationship. Rosie filed a domestic violence complaint against Bobby in 2017, but authorities said she decided not to press charges against Bobby, and the case lacked evidence without her cooperation, therefore the case was dropped. The two would stay together and would later get married July 20.
Now, I think at that point, she should have not married him. If the abuse was going on before and the relationship was, they were dating and, there was abuse going on before they got married, then she should not have ever married this man. If this abuse was going on in that relationship before, she should have cut it off. Because my philosophy is always, if you, and my mom always, because she was an abused person. And I think that sometimes we don't always follow what our parents say. When they tell us, don't, the first time, my mom always said, the first time a man puts his hands on you, the first time a man cheats, don't accept them back because they're going to do it again. So they can bring you flowers, they can bring you presents, they're going to do it again. So the first time they cheat, leave them because they're going to do it again. The presents and all the stuff in the world is not going to stop them from doing it. So you need to stand, as I say, 10 toes down and leave them then, because they're going to, if you give them, I know some people say, oh, well, give them a chance. They're going to do it again. And I don't care, what you say, they're going to do it again. And I'm telling you by experience, they're going to do it again. So she should not have ever stayed with this guy when there was abuse going on in that marriage. In that relationship. She should have walked out and left him then. And I know that we all say, let's just give him a chance and see what happens. And, this, that, and the other. Never. And she should have walked out then. There was, I think, I know in New Mexico, they made it a law that, and this was, it's been a law for quite a while, that when you report a domestic violence, when the police are called out to your home, you cannot now withdraw it. If the police is called out to your home now for domestic violence, or DV, I should say, excuse me, I'm not allowed to use domestic violence, but DV, they have to now automatically press those charges. A woman cannot withdraw it and say, I don't want to do it. It's automatically gone forth. You cannot withdraw it. I don't know if that's a law in all of the states, but I know in New Mexico, you cannot withdraw it. Once they are called out for a DV charge, it goes forth and the woman cannot withdraw it. I'm not for sure if that's something, and if anybody knows or lives in Missouri, if you're watching from Missouri, please leave me a comment down below and let me know if that's something in Missouri's state. But let's continue with the video. Put my glasses on here.
Ninth, 2018. Rosie appeared to be very happy to be getting married to Bobby with her friends and family all in attendance. The two would have a daughter together named Zoe. Bobby was not the father of Rosie's 13 and 6-year-old, but he did have multiple children of his own prior to the marriage. Rosie would continue to suffer abuse within the marriage and would post the violent details of Bobby's abuse on Facebook. She frequently wrote about the turbulent nature of her relationship on her social media profiles, and in multiple posts, she suggested that McCulley physically abused her. Rosie stated that her husband Bobby had beaten her so severely that she had to be hospitalized. She revealed in her post that her chest and abdomen had been stomped on by her husband, leading to severe bruising and swelling. "I'm gonna have to put my little in retirement. I mean, I knew it was a little something between these legs, but I definitely never thought I would get beat up for not giving it to a man enough. Child, this man is bad luck. Y'all dudes really out here beating up your wife cause they don't sleep with you enough. Stomping them in the head with steel-toed boots on, and trying to hit them in the face with tables and shit. No. Just Bobby. Oh, okay. I pressed charges and put him out. No worries." The next day on February 21st, she posted, "I'm really at this hospital at almost 2 a.m. where they have found bruises, lumps and abrasions in places I didn't even think about. They want an x-ray. Crap, the whole right side of my face and head swollen. And I'm ashamed that I haven't shaved my legs in weeks. I'm tired as all hell." She posted again on the 23rd. "There isn't a male friend or family member of mine that would be able to hit his wife, girlfriend, baby mama, or whoever, and then seek shelter at my house. Flat out. I'm not housing no woman beater. Not bringing him his from her house. Not gonna do it. Some of y'all's morals are definitely questionable. How can you stay friends with someone who is a repeat offender?" In a recent post, she mentioned that they were no longer living together and requested assistance with removing his belongings from her residence. "So what y'all doing on this good Saturday? Anyone wanna come help me move his shit out of my house into a storage unit so he has no reason to come back here or continue contacting me? It's not a lot of stuff, but some speakers, TV. I'm giving him the bunk beds I purchased for his kids. I mean, if me and my 13-year-old have to do it all, we will, but help would be much appreciated. Let me know. I get off work at 12 p.m. Bobby later posted a comment on her page that read, "Everyone enjoying the show. More to come." What would happen next would be a tragic event that no one would have expected. On the night of March 5, 2021, law enforcement officials received a call from Rosie's neighbor, notifying them of a suspicious individual in between two homes, one being Rosie's. Upon arrival, the police looked around the area for any signs of the reported person, but found no one at the time, so they left. Sadly, 3 hours later, the authorities would receive another call from a neighbor after they heard gunshots. In response, the police rushed to the scene and discovered a broken window at Rosie's residence. Looking through the window, the police would make a gruesome discovery. Officers located the bodies of 3 victims, Rosie, her 13-year-old son, and her 6-year-old daughter. Bobby committed the murders 5 days after he filed for divorce, and he also abducted their 1-year-old daughter, the only child he shared with his wife. The police issued an Amber Alert when they realized the child was missing from the home. However, Bobby eventually dropped off the child unharmed with his family. Authorities started a manhunt for Bobby, and he was charged with kidnapping and the murder of Rosie and her 2 children. The next day, as they were closing in on him, he ended his life. He was found dead in his car near his mother's home in the 1300 block of Clinton Street in North St. Louis.
We start with a tragic story out of North St. Louis County where a mother and her 2 children were shot and killed inside their home. The victims, Roseanne McCauley and her 2 kids, 13-year-old Caden Johnson and 6-year-old Kaylee Brooks. The suspect was identified as Bobby McCauley III, the mother's estranged husband. Police also say he took their 1-year-old child, which caused that Amber Alert to go off overnight. That child is now safe with family. McCauley later took his own life when police tried to arrest him. Another woman, Michelle Clayton, is facing charges in this case. A probable cause statement says she misled and lied to police, preventing McCauley's arrest.
When Lionel Harold thinks about what happened to the mom and 2 kids who lived across the street,
Very sad day for that to happen this close to home.
he can't hold back the tears.
Excuse me for crying. They didn't deserve that.
Harold is just one of many neighbors on Lockwig Trail in Florissant, now gripped with sadness, heartbreak, and disbelief.
I never get over this one here. Very beautiful young lady. The kids were very manageable.
Neighbors say they last saw the mom watching her kids play outside their home on Wednesday. A bouquet of flowers now sits here in memory of the family.
I've been crying all. I ain't even been asleep. I was trying to get to sleep. I'm devastated.
My prayers, my family prayers go out to the family. I hate this even happened to the family.
Police believe that McCauley entered the home with a weapon and held the family against their will for hours before killing them around 11:30 at night, then leaving with the daughter he shared with Rosie. Additionally, according to police, they were already looking for Bobby earlier on the day of the murders, in response to a domestic violence complaint made by Rosie regarding him assaulting her. They would be shocked to later learn that he murdered her and her kids. Records show at least 5 police calls from the McCauley home in the weeks prior to the murder, one of them for domestic violence.
County leaders are calling on you to protect family, friends, and loved ones from future dangerous situations.
This is a call to action for everyone.
A sad but necessary wake-up call for people to protect loved ones in violent situations.
I think it also takes a village to protect a child and protect family members. We need people to point their family members or their friends to the types of resources to get them help. Or if it's already crossed that line of violence, sometimes you got to do the uncomfortable thing, which is report it to law enforcement because, maybe it might strain that relationship, but it might save someone's life.
Police say McCauley had a history of run-ins with the law dating back to 2008. More recently, the alleged suspect and victim had a domestic dispute in 2017, but no charges were pressed.
This tragedy was not her fault by any stretch of the imagination.
The suspect had recently filed for divorce at the end of February, and police most recently were actively looking for him for a prior domestic incident. Sadly, they didn't find McCauley in time.
2 previous women both made claims of domestic violence 5 years ago. Court documents revealed 2 different women feared McCauley enough to write to the courts. In 2016, one woman obtained a full order of protection against Bobby. She wrote by hand, saying McCauley pulled a gun on me and my child and aimed it at us both. After the murder, the woman posted on social media, saying that her continued fear leads her to carry a loaded gun wherever she goes. A different woman wrote by hand the following: in June of 2016, we had police intervention for domestic violence. He has come to my home threatening my mother. He also sent his new girlfriend to my mother's home to fight me. Court records also reveals a domestic violence case that occurred when he was 23 years old, more than 10 years ago. He admitted to false imprisonment, which entails detaining a person against their will and interfering with a victim or witness. He was sentenced to a year of probation with an ankle monitor for that conviction. During the investigation after the murders of Rosie and her children, the police discovered Bobby's mother, Michelle Clayton, misled police to protect her son. She was later arrested and charged with a felony. Her bond was set at $25,000, cash only. Rosie's family and friends were devastated at the news of her death and the death of her children.
A friend believes that she was the last person to speak to Rosie.
Okay, I don't get it when a mother will protect, or or a father or parents, period, will protect their children, and they do harm, DV, to someone. I don't get that, because wrong is wrong and right is right. And when someone is hurting, whether it's your son getting hurt or your daughter getting hurt, why would you protect the other party and hide them? You just don't do that. If you're, you don't hide them and let them think that that's okay to hurt another human being, because now he's unalived, and so is the children. Her children, as well as her, are unalived. And all of this could have been prevented, because she could have gotten the daughter-in-law help, and she could have gotten her son help, because he's ruined numerous lives. He's ruined 2 other women's lives, and then he's ruined his children's lives. Will never have a father, which they probably were, maybe better off not having him in their lives. I mean, this is just like another case, different, like J.P. Miller, basically, that have just, these men go out and just stalk these women. If they don't want to be with them or don't want to do what they say, they just go out and stalk them and think that that's okay. And I don't know where or why they're not being punished for this when the police are called. These people are saying, go and tell someone, family members, go and get help for them and report it. But the family members are calling the police department. They are trying to get someone out there to help, and nothing is being done. Micah Miller's family called the police. She called the police. This lady called the police. I'm sure the family members called the police, and nothing was being done about the situation. So when they're calling the police and they're making the reports and nothing is being done, I mean, restraining orders are being put in place, and he's going and harassing the mom and threatening the parents and threatening the family members. What do you do in that case? I mean, we need to have stricter policies put into place for these men that torture these women, that put trackers on their cars and that stalk them. He broke into this lady's house in the middle of the night, and that's how he unalived her and her 2 innocent kids that had nothing to do with this. And I believe I said 3. It's actually 2 that were unalived. When does it stop? When do we have to get tougher laws in effect for DV and stalking when it's reported? That we just don't look the other way when this stuff is, these tragedies are going on, and we can save many, many lives when this is being reported. I hear often, oh, report it, like this gentleman is saying here, but it's like when they do report it, when family members report it, when the actual victims report it, it's being overlooked and no one is doing anything about it. And we have victims like Rosie and we have victims like Mika that just get overlooked. I don't know. Anyway, I'll stop my rant. I always rant because it just upsets me that, these, and I hope that, the other guy gets what this other monster, I should say, gets what he gets. Anyway, let's finish the video.
Alive.
She had a lot of people that just loved her because she was such a sweet person.
Stephanie St. John said her close friend Rosie McCullough called her auntie and as a nickname called Rosie her niece. She says Rosie was private about the abuse she suffered till 2 weeks ago.
He assaulted her like really badly.
St. John says she encouraged her friend to take her kids and go stay somewhere safe. Police were seeking to arrest Bobby McCullough for the domestic violence, but didn't believe he posed an imminent threat.
We have been looking for the suspect. She stayed there at the residence with her kids. There wasn't any indications to us that he was going to go back last night.
St. John said she last talked to Rosie around 6:30, but planned to check in regularly.
And I'm calling. She didn't answer. And I sent her a text message.
Around 10:30, St. John texted, "Answer me." The response was, "Busy, I will hit you back shortly." St. John wrote, "Girl, I was about to beat these streets." But then she realized that wasn't a normal response from Rosie. She wrote, "Bobby, let my niece go." There was no response. At the time, he may have still been in the house after killing Rosie and her 13-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter.
That is a sick, sadistic individual
who took the life of her dear friend.
On March 13, 2021, people gathered in front of the St. Louis County Justice Center for an End Domestic Violence rally to honor Rosie McCullough, 13-year-old Caden, and 6-year-old Kaylee. Rosie's mother said that authorities saw exactly what had been done to her daughter, and they charged it as some misdemeanor or assault 3, which meant they could only put out a wanted, which means that they weren't actively looking for Bobby, she said. Had he run across them at a traffic stop, they might have arrested him, but they didn't actively go out and find him. What happened to Rosie and her children was beyond tragic. Who knows what they went through those hours in the home with an unstable man who arrived with the intent to kill. Rosie had to be terrified and scared for her life, as well as the life of her babies. She did not deserve this, and her children did not deserve this either. Her kids should have had a safe environment to live in where they could just be kids. This tragedy leaves a 1-year-old little girl to have to grow up without parents or her siblings, and to one day have to learn the awful truth about what happened to her family. My condolences to Rosie's friends and family. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
What a tragedy that could have been avoided. You know, you have the police officers saying they didn't think that he was a danger. And I don't know why. Why would you think that he wasn't a danger? This man had put his hands on her pretty badly, from what the aunt said just that day. And that was the reason that the police were called. And that's the reason that they were looking for him. So what part of that did you think that he wasn't a danger? So you were looking for him to arrest him. But what part of that did you think that it was not a danger? So I don't get that at all. I think that, you know, and that's the problem. You know, that's a problem that I think that, you know, when women get tired of calling and calling and calling because they don't do anything about it. They want to charge it as a misdemeanor. And you call and they, you know, and some of the police officers are just like, "Oh, ma'am, just lock the doors, or just don't make him upset, or just don't do this or don't do that," because they just throw their hands around. And it's like, oh, you know, I think about the Gabby Petito case, how, you know, I think the officer mentioned, "Oh, you know, my wife gets upset and, you know, I just kind of, you know, do this." It's just like, come on, guys, come on. When are we going to take responsibility? And that's not just saying for women, it's men is the same. They have DV as well. We need to start stepping up. And when we see that this is happening, take it seriously. Because had they taken this seriously, this woman and her children would still be alive to this day. And this tragic case happened back in 2023. Now, granted, she should not have went along with the marriage. She should have not even married him. She should have cut it off a long time ago. But she did, thinking that maybe this guy would change. Maybe marriage would change him, and maybe he would, just, simply be her knight in shining armor. And unfortunately, he wasn't. She made a mistake. Unfortunately, one that cost her life and her children's lives. But if you see someone that is being abused, all we can do is keep reporting it and keep reporting it and try to get them out of that situation and into a safe place. A good thing to always do is just always to have a secret, safe place that and I hate to say this to, I don't want to ever say to someone, keep a secret from your husband or from your partner or your significant other. I never want to say that, but sometimes it's best just to keep a secret location that he does not know about, so that if there's ever a change or something should happen, that there's that one location that he does not know about, so that you can always have that one location that he never knows about, and that you can always feel safe going there, and no one knows about that location. And you can go and you can be safe at that one location, and he will never know about that one location. And I think that that's very important, to always have a plan, so that you can be safe, and he's not going to go tearing down, the location. It's sad that sometimes we have to do that, but I think that in this day and age, that you have to have a secret, safe location. And just, be safe about, your relationships that you get involved in. And I think that as women and men, we all have to stick together and protect one another. There's just too much of it going on. There's too much of this happening. It's becoming like it's the norm. So I just want to, put that out there. We all need to be safe and make sure that, we're protecting each other. And there was that one, I think it's, they say to do this or something, where you see if if you're in danger, to do that as well. And I don't want to do it. I had it down packed because it was on one of my other videos, but go back and watch those other videos. And I think it's, something you do this, and to let someone know that you are in danger, if you're ever in danger. Also, I wanted to address another issue that was on in my last video. A comment was made, and I always tell you guys this: if you come across a video and you've seen it before, or and you don't want to see it, you can always click off of my videos. I always like to come up on my channel and talk about some of the things that are going on. Even if you all have heard it, I like to talk about it in my own way and bring it up and discuss it. So you're always more than welcome to click off. I also get commentary. I watch the news, and I get, some of the YouTubers that I watch, I get information off their channels, like, and then I go and research it myself as well. There was a comment made that I should have given credit to one of the original YouTubers, and so that he could get credit and views for his channel. And, I don't need anyone telling me what I should do on my channel. This is my channel, and what I do on my channel, it's my prerogative. It is Straight Talk and Cooking with Michelle. And that's why it's called Straight Talk and Cooking with Michelle, my channel. So I don't need anybody telling me how to run my channel or what to do on my channel. You can be, you're more than welcome when you get your channel to do what you want on yours, and I will do what I want on mine. As far as giving anybody views or whatever, I just took some information off the channel that I was watching and just kind of shared bits and pieces and you know, watched his channel as I gave it, you know, pulled his channel up on mine to kind of get some commentary and discuss what he was discussing. I don't need anybody telling me to go to the original channel and get it off of, you know, to give him clicks and views. I'm sure he has plenty of clicks and views because this guy that I was watching gave him clicks and views and also told everybody to go and watch his channel. So Tiffany, I don't need you to come on my channel and tell me how to do, what to do, and where to do. Okay, sweetie? But you can keep your comments to yourself, sweetheart. But thank you. But I don't need you to come and tell me how to run my channel. So thank you all so much to my loyal subscribers that do come on and watch my channel. And thank you so much for the new subscriber that did subscribe. Keep the subscriptions coming. Keep the comments coming. And I always do comment to all my comments. I do make sure to comment on all of them, good or bad. I always try to comment on all of them. And please hit the likes button. Please keep those likes buttons coming and keep those subscriptions coming. And please comment on this video too. I would like for you all to comment on these videos too, because this is important as well as the Micah Miller. It's sort of like that. This monster took this precious life as well as the two precious lives of the children. So please let me know what you think about this video as well. And leave your comments and hit the likes button. Also hit that subscribe button and go back and watch some of my other videos too. And comment on those as well. And until next time,